Welcome to Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market, where we find out what fuels Big 12 women athletes on and off the court. On today's episode, we have Arizona State women's lacrosse defender Keeley Cleland. Hear what drew the Florida native to Arizona State, her goals for the senior season with the Sun Devils, and how she's shaping the new generation of lacrosse. We break it all down now on Between the Aisles. Hey y'all, and welcome into Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover, and today we are with Arizona State lacrosse standout, Keeley Cleland. Keeley, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, yeah, excited to be here.
So tell me about last season.
Last season was awesome. Had a career high in cause turnovers, so that was awesome. I played defense, I absolutely love it, and we also went the furthest that we've been as a program since I've been here.
Wow. Well, you're not giving yourself enough credit. You started all 19 games, which is no small feat, all Big 12 team. Why didn't you mention that? Come on, you had 28 ground balls, 10 caused turnovers, and you also led the position group. What led to your success?
Definitely a lot of off-season work, I think. I love to work hard all the time, especially like all the work that you put in the summer and in the fall leads up into season. And of course, like super grateful for my coaches and my teammates that push me every single day to get there.
Well, today we're going to be showing some highlights of you from the Cincinnati game. What can you tell me about that game?
That game was a grind for sure. I mean, we started down and we ended up coming out on top, and it was our first Big 12 win of the season, so it was a super important game. But yeah, every time the ball was on the ground, like, you just have to know that it's got to be yours. So that was probably my key to the game.
Do you have a little bit of that dog-eat-dog mentality? I can already see it coming out.
Oh, that's actually funny. We call ourselves dogs on the defense, so definitely.
Where does that mentality come from?
You know, kind of stems from our coach. Like, she likes to call us dogs. Like, it's a big grind playing defense. So every time the ball's on the ground, like every 1v1, like, you just have to know that you have to get it done. So we always just say it's like dog mentality, like, the dog days. There's no glory in it.
Right, and what fuels you? Since there is no glory, you kind of don't get that recognition all the time.
Well, not to say that there's no glory, but you know, we get to find success when our offense puts the ball in the back of the net. Like, we get to know that every single time it comes down to us, like, we have to be sending it back to them.
Yeah. Were there any goals last season that you were able to accomplish?
One of my goals was to be on the Big 12 team, so I was really excited for that, and just to lead our team to as many victories as possible. So we tied our season high of game wins, so it was super exciting.
So when you learned that you were on that Big 12 team, what did that feel like?
It was just so exciting, honestly. Like, I was just super grateful for like my parents, my coaches, my teammates, like everyone who helped me get here. So just like an overwhelming sense of pride.
Right. Do you remember where you were, the moment where whoever called you, or maybe you were, at the facilities?
Yeah, so we were actually at the Big 12 tournament when I saw the post on Instagram, so that's how I found out. And I was in a hotel room with a bunch of my teammates, so we all kind of gave each other high fives, and it was just super awesome.
I'm sure it was a huge celebration between you and your teammates, right?
Yeah, it was. It was awesome.
Keeley, I'm so excited for this episode. We are jam-packed with things. We're going to talk about your background a little bit, your injury. We're going to see some of your match highlights. I mean, we're going to talk about your passion. So let's see when we get back.
At Georgetown, and surprise, surprise, Arizona State wins the draw, and they will start with the ball. Expect to see that a lot today. They're second nationally in draw controls. Cincinnati barely cracking the top 100 nationally.
Yeah, ASU's really got an advantage here in this game for the draw controls. Currently, in their last game, they won 24, which is their season high, tied it there. We've got Olivia Oldnell taking a shot here. Sails bit over the goal. But yeah, the midfield is going to be where these two teams are really going to need a battle for it. Cincinnati still looking for kind of that key player in the midfield and on the draw. They've got Viglione kind of for ASU. Has been, a great example of just a really strong draw taker. So we will see as these two teams begin today.
There's an underhand look from Oldnose. She's got a couple on this opening possession. For an Arizona State team that is taking it up a notch offensively, averaging just over 15 goals a game, and they've got their first just a few moments into this contest.
Goal by Jordan Bihar there, and officially has become the offensive weapon of ASU. Currently, she is sitting with the highest assists on the team. She's averaging 3.7 per game, 41 total. She's got 63 points on the season and is first in assists per game, nationally ranked.
And the draw control circle, and they get a second chance here, trying to go up 2-0. That will be a crucial point to this game, just maintaining possession. It sounds so simple, but when you're as good as they are in the circle, you want to run that shot clock down, make sure that the possessions for Cincinnati are limited. And there you go, goal number 2.
Amazing feed from PowHERed there, quick inside and great hands by ASU's offense. I didn't see exactly who scored that goal, but it was some quick movement. So we will see. It looks like it was number 17, Anna Thornton, are one of the best at cause turnovers. Is that really scrappy defense and getting the ball back when it counts. But again, you have to have possession to kind of make that stat work out in your favor. Silly mistakes like that, ASU is going to take advantage of. So we will see here at this offensive set.
That's Ottensmeyer. They get it in front, and they score. So both of these teams coming out hot to start.
Welcome back to Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover, and we are here with Arizona State lacrosse standout, Keeley Cleland. Let's talk about your background, your childhood. What was that like?
So I always grew up playing a lot of sports. I played softball, swim, basketball, tried to do it all honestly, but really how I got into lacrosse was both of my brothers played growing up, and they're a lot older than me, so I always wanted to be like them. So that's the first time that I put a stick in my hand.
So when was the moment that you were like, okay, lacrosse is gonna stick, because you played so many sports?
I would probably say later on in middle school. The middle school I went to didn't have lacrosse, and like I enjoyed playing those other sports, but like that time playing club and traveling with my teammates, like I just loved that. So I think that was the moment that I was like, yes, this is the one.
How much of an impact did your brothers playing have on you?
A ton. They're super competitive. They both were super accomplished athletes in high school, and even one went on to wrestle in college. So I really just always kind of emulated like their work ethic.
You said he went on to wrestle.
Yeah.
So are those two like coincide? Does lacrosse coincide with wrestling?
Definitely two different sports, but I would always watch how like hard they worked on the mat, and that just made me want to work hard as well.
And then let's talk about your high school experience a little bit. I know you made a huge impact. Let's talk about that run.
So I transferred into Episcopal School of Jacksonville my sophomore year, and that team when I got there was struggling to win districts, and by my senior year we were able to make it to a Final Four. So I was super proud of that in my 4 years. I credit a lot of that success to my head coach Krista Grauber, as well as my best friend Sophia Chepnik. They were both huge influential people in my life, and like they always pushed me and we pushed each other to just get to that point.
What made your high school coach such a good mentor for you?
So she played collegiate lacrosse as well, and she would always just talk to me about how much she loved her experience and really just made me want to have that experience as well.
And then I know they're still doing well, right?
Yes, they are.
So how do you think they've been able to have the sustained success? For you, I know you're not going to toot your own horn and say, hey, I was the beginning of this, but I mean, as an athlete, you know, putting in the groundwork is so hard, especially for a program that just goes up after you leave.
I think it was definitely like a culture change, like from the minute that we got there, like we just kind of set the tone for the younger girls of like, hey, like this is how hard we're going to work, and that hard work is what's going to lead us to the success. And I know in years since I've been gone, like they've continued that same like 5 a.m. workouts and just like the grind of like making sure that like this is what we're going to do to get there. So super proud of them.
Let's talk about those 5 a.m. workouts. That is no little feat. What goes into those 5 a.m. workouts?
Yeah, so my best friend Sophia Chepnik, her dad was an awesome trainer. So he would come to our school at 5 a.m. We would do runs, lifts, like whatever had to be done at 5 a.m. And then we'd go to school, and then we'd practice after school. So really it was just like a long grind, but it was awesome, yeah.
When was the moment where you were like, I can take this to the next level and go to college?
I think I realized like at the end of middle school, like freshman year of high school, like I was like, wow, I was like, this is something that I 100% want to do. Our recruiting doesn't start until our September 1st of our junior year. So it was kind of all just like preparation in between there of knowing that like I wanted to play at that next level.
Yeah. And I know you're one of the COVID athletes, so you decommitted from another school to come to ASU. What went into that decision?
So I think with the COVID recruiting process, it was hard. I mean, everything was on Zoom. I couldn't go anywhere in person. So it was hard to initially make that first decision, but when I realized that I wanted to go somewhere super far from home, like it was an easy decision to just kind of like open up my options. And I found Arizona State, and I just absolutely fell in love with every single thing about it. The facilities, the people I met there, like I just love everything about it. So it was easy to decide that I wanted to come here.
Super unique experience when it comes to COVID. How did that impact your seasons in high school and the training?
So it completely cut our season short my sophomore year.
Okay.
And then junior year, I was in Florida, so we didn't have to play with masks, but I mean, even in the school setting, like we had to sit 6 feet apart from anyone around us if we got contact traced. Like, so you always made sure that you had to be super far away from everybody. So, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's rough, but I'm glad you made it through. We're here now, so was so excited to talk to you about your previous seasons and your high school experience. And here next, we'll be talking about her 2025 breakthrough season.
We have yet to really see the drivers at all. Tegan Ng hasn't gotten a shot off. Oldno isn't necessarily always a driver, but we haven't seen her much either. Ng tries, and a whistle.
We're going to get a shooting space here for Tegan Ng.
She'll get a big free position here to try and get ASU a goal for the first time since very early in this game. Got 2 goals within the first minute of this game. Have not scored since. Tegan Ng. Point blank range, and she scores.
It will not be a goal. We had a goal circle violation, but ASU is able to get the ball back. Jordan Bihar with a goal. Quick on that rebound there and a quick shot. Good work by her, keeping her head up on the offensive and pushing that ball to goal.
Callahan, and now Rose again. 35 seconds for Cincinnati to shoot, trailing by 2. Here comes that drive. Callahan does that better than almost anybody in the Big 12, and she scores, cutting this down to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, that was a great move from her up at the top of the 8. Quick dodge to then a righty shot from the right side of the goal. Sometimes not always the best angle, especially in your right hand, but was able to sneak that past Valley. Bottom left shot, great work.
45 in the second, 3-2 ball game.
Cincinnati looking a little stacked there, little bunched up on the right side of the goal.
Haley Joyce Simpson drives and scores.
Great drive from her there, an even better shot. That bounce shot going perfectly top left. Very hard to do as a goalie, save that, and then able to get that goal there for Cincinnati. That will make that their second goal of the quarter. ASU currently has not scored. Having some opportunities again, but currently a tie game here, ASU.
All right, y'all, we are back with Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover. We are here with Arizona State lacrosse standout Keeley Cleland. Now, we know you were not always a defender, right?
Yeah, I was a midfielder my freshman year.
So what changed?
So I actually broke both of my feet, so that was a big change going into my freshman to sophomore year, was kind of just load management, and when you're a midfielder, like, you run a lot more, so a lot less stress on my feet for sure.
How did that happen, and did it happen at the same time?
So I was a stress fracture in my left foot my freshman year, and then beginning of my sophomore campaign, I had a stress fracture in my right metatarsal, which is a bone in the ankle.
Right. And then did you get like procedures on them?
No surgery, thankfully.
Okay.
We both were caught super early, but just the boot, couple weeks recovery, couple months off.
Did you have to do double boot?
Not at the same time,
Okay.
Thankfully not.
Okay, so in this next season, what are your goals?
I really want to bring the first Big 12 championship home for Arizona State lacrosse and get our first bid to the NCAA.
Do you have any personal goals?
I would love to be an all-conference member again and just grow on the success that I had from last season.
Talking about the success that you had last season, what went into the breakthrough that you've had, the best season that you've had so far?
My coach, Caroline Wakefield, pushes me all the time. She never shies away from being hard on me, so I think that always just pushes me to be better every single day.
I know as an athlete, when you get to the top, it's so hard to stay there. What have you been working on in the off season to make sure that this next season is going to be just as good and better than last one?
You know, I trained really, really hard this summer, even sometimes coming out at 1 o'clock in the Arizona heat to do my run. So I'm feeling my fittest and fastest coming into this year.
And I think that's something that needs to be touched on. Coming out in the heat, Arizona, it is so hot. What is the difference? You know, lacrosse is known as being maybe a little bit of a northern sport. It's a little bit cooler. What have you felt that's helped you train, especially in the midst of the heat that Arizona has to offer?
You know, I think it's definitely just always pushing through. Like, the weather's not going to change. We're always going to play outside. So just heat acclimating yourself and just like knowing that you can push through. And then when we get to go to the East Coast and play in these cooler weathers, it's almost like a step up.
Yeah, talking about going to the East Coast, playing in the cooler weathers, what are you looking forward to when it comes to Big 12 play?
Yeah, I'm really excited to head out there and play all of our Big 12 opponents. I'm actually from Florida, and we'll be playing Florida at Florida this year, so that's super exciting to have some family come out there.
Coming from Florida, it's pretty hot too, but it's more of like a humid heat. You know, you have the beaches, and then you come to Arizona, it's a dry heat. Which one do you prefer?
I mean, it definitely feels like I'm stepping into an oven when I come out here, but I mean, similar in Florida, like you just constantly feel like you're drenched. I'd probably say I would pick Florida just because I feel like I can stay outside for longer, but both are pretty hot.
And when it comes to your injury that you had, both of your feet, what was that recovery process like?
The trainers that we have at Arizona State are just amazing. So they worked with me every single day to like allow me to come back as strong as I could. And so that was super awesome.
And then mentally, I mean, I know I never had to deal with something as far as like being booted up, but those nagging injuries can really take a mental toll on you. How did you cope with that?
I mean, when you're sitting on the sideline, like all you want to do is get back out there. So mentally, like every single day, like just being able to watch my teammates play, like it just pushed me more and more to want to come back faster and stronger.
And then for the recovery process, as far as physically, what kind of things were you doing in the rehab?
We did like the zero gravity, like running on the treadmill. So we started slowly integrating that in so that you can put less pressure on your feet, running all the way back to full, just blown sprinting on the ground.
Which is, I mean, insane. So you're going from zero gravity, and then do you do like small runs at first, and then finally you get to do a full game, or how does that work?
Yeah, definitely. So it starts with like just small little box drills, breaking your feet down. Then we go into larger strides, like 50 yards, 100 yards, and then even just running back our run test again.
First game back as a defender, talk about that.
So it's definitely a different vibe playing defense than it is on the midfield. So when you're running midfield, you kind of usually have a couple runs there and back, go on to the sideline. When you play defense, you stay on the field the whole time. So that was super awesome just to be able to like constantly stay on the field, feel the play of the game. So I do love it.
Did you feel like you had to have a mentality shift when you changed to the defensive side?
Definitely a little bit. Like as I mentioned before, like defense is a grind. So just knowing that every single time I was on the field, like a simple mistake could lead to the ball being in the back of the net.
So we've talked a little bit about your breakthroughs, but I know a huge part of that is the nutrition and how you feel your body. So we're going to get that right when we get back.
So it's now just a one advantage for ASU in the draw control circle. Here come the Devils trying to attack quickly. They move it in front. On a fast break, they score. We were waiting to see it from Tegan Ing. She's now 4 away from 100 on her career, but more important, gets her team within a goal. First goal since the first quarter. Boy, did the Devils need that.
Yeah, that was a quick one, too. You got that in the first 40 seconds. Good work for ASU defense, able to stop that fast break. Transition upfield. Oldno with a great assist to Ing there. Really big saves for her team. Oldno here looking to drive. Moving it low.
Oldno can't find anything. Back up at point.
We are going to get a flag. Looks like it will be 3 seconds for Cincinnati. I believe this is their third of the day. Now the 3 seconds call is you are not allowed to be in the 8-meter for 3 seconds without being a stick's length away from an offensive player. 3 of those means we have 3 free possession shots for ASU.
There's
Shot
one.
and a goal.
6-5 as the Devils get their second goal of the quarter.
That'll be Anna Thornton with that goal.
We are back with Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover, and we are here with Arizona State lacrosse standout Keeley Cleland. Now, we've been looking at your Cincinnati game. That was stellar. I mean, you had 5 ground balls, 3 caused turnovers. How did you prep for that game?
So every night before a game, I have a big bowl of pasta. So definitely fueled with that before the game. I like to eat a little bit lighter in the morning of a game, so I had an acai bowl.
Okay.
And I always just like to get super hyped with my teammates right before going out there.
And in season, what time are your games?
It varies. Majority of the time, probably like a 12 o'clock game.
Okay, so you have what, breakfast before? So how do you fuel yourself for that and get ready? Is it something super heavy, or do you have multiple meals, or how does that work?
Usually something pretty carb dense, like
Okay.
breads, peanut butter, eggs, stuff like that. And then a smaller pre-fuel snack before getting out there.
And I know you like to cook your meals. Do you do this on game day as well?
Not the morning of.
Okay.
Now, if the game was at night, I probably would cook myself a breakfast and a lunch, but game day, I just like to take everything off my plate.
And what fuels your love for nutrition?
So my great-grandmother lived with me when I was younger, and so she taught me to cook from a super young age. So I always just attribute cooking with like my grandmother and family, so I just love cooking.
And what are some of your favorite meals that you like to cook?
Definitely different pastas. Like she has her own sauce recipe that I love cooking, or I love cooking penne alla vodka. My roommates are very fond of that one.
So do you cook for your roommates is the question.
100%.
Do
Yeah.
they make you, or is it more of like you love cooking for them?
I would definitely say cooking and food is a love language, so I never mind.
It is. There's what, 5 love languages, and I think cooking and food should be the 6th one. So what are you studying?
So I'm an interdisciplinary studies major with a focus in nutritional science and
Okay.
communications.
So that makes sense why you're into cooking and nutrition and fueling your body. Do you think that you've also learned a lot from the nutritional staff at ASU?
Oh, 100% so much. We meet with our nutritionists all the time, so even just working with them one-on-one, I've already learned so much.
What is your philosophy, or do they give you a philosophy for, I know you mentioned you eat pasta, the night before the game. So is there something that you've learned on your own, or is that something that they preach?
I definitely find that like eating that big bowl of pasta just makes me feel great, and so that's one of my biggest things to fuel nutritionally. But our nutritionists as well definitely push onto us that we need a lot of carbohydrates. So we definitely both agree on the big bowl of pasta.
Well, we've talked a lot about nutrition and what you like to eat, but how do you fuel yourself mentally? Because seasons are long, school is hard, and the balance, of it all. So what do you do to make sure that your mental health is in tip-top shape?
You know, I lean a lot on my support system, which is my teammate and my family. So just being able to have those conversations with them and lean on them for support when I need it, like they always give me an extra push and I try to give it back.
And then also coming from an injury, I'm sure your mental health was a big part of that. What do you do when you need a break? You're like, I just need to unwind, unplug, I need a second.
Definitely like going for a long walk kind of just helps me like clear my head. Arizona's so beautiful, so especially at night, there's usually a beautiful sunset, listen to some music, like just mentally reset for the day.
So you mentioned music. I'm a music person myself. Put me on to some people.
All right, so I love listening to some Rihanna, some SZA, some Don Toliver, a little mix here and there.
So Rihanna, can we talk about how she hasn't had an album? Come on now. How are you keeping fed with Rihanna? Are you listening to the throwbacks?
Yeah, the throwbacks are definitely where it's at. I love some good throwback music.
And is this the same music that you listen to before you play?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like what, R&B, pop, like you're not one of those contemporary. I know some people need to like slow it down. You like to get hyped up.
Yeah, definitely. I throw in some rap in there as well, some Drake.
Okay, so Drake, Rihanna, okay, all the classics. Well, I know you work on the nutritional staff. How has that been?
It's just been absolutely incredible getting to learn from our registered dietitians. They're so amazing.
Well, a lot of people aren't able to work, be a student athlete, and then also put the student in the athlete, So how do you balance all of it?
I think time management is definitely the biggest key. Like when I'm at practice, I'm focusing on practice. When I'm at work, I'm focusing on work. And, putting my phone down in my off time, and just being able to do my schoolwork and that other stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was in school for 5 years and I never had a job outside of being a student athlete. So I can't even imagine how much of the time that takes. How long have you been working with the nutritional staff?
I started this June.
Okay. Oh, and how has that transition been now that you have even less time?
They've just been incredible, honestly. My schedule in the summer looked very different than it is now, and they work with me all the time to make sure that it doesn't coincide with practice.
So you mentioned earlier about being in the oven, when you're going out to play. Is that not the same for these walks?
You know, in this time of year, it's a little bit nicer, so maybe not so many walks in the summer.
Right. Well, it was so nice hearing about your nutrition, but now we're gonna go around the Sprouts and we're gonna see what are some foods you can't live without. Y'all won't wanna miss it.
You know, goals, quarters, halves and whatnot. Check for ASU here. They will get possession back on this defensive play, moving it up the field.
Trying to go quick. That's how they scored the first time in this quarter. Ing trying to do it herself, and she does.
Goal
Tegan
from
Ing gets another. And the Devils have tied the game at 6. Under 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Tegan Ing with another fast break goal. Up top for Rose.
Callahan looking to set something up.
Cameron Callahan
Quick feed to Joey
gets
Simpson.
it in front
and a goal.
score. It's Haley Joy Simpson, another one here in this second half. Largest lead that either side has had today. It's at 3, 9-6 Cincinnati. Down to the 6-minute mark. Still over 20 minutes of lacrosse to play. You mentioned how quickly things can change, but they got to start now. Oldno trying to make a move. Goes in back of the net. The Devils trying to find something right near the crease. They just can't. Laser beamed in front. Oh, what a good look. A give and go with Lydia Oldno. And right when they need it the most, ASU comes up and scores. It's 9-7 with 5:40 to play in the third.
Yeah,
Thornton on Darko. 47 seconds left in the third. 9-7 Cincinnati. Anna Thornton will reset it.
She'll pull it out. Move it behind. Bihar looking for a feed. She
They
finds
get one. She scores.
Goal from number 16, Izzy Hammond of ASU. That'll be her first of the day.
With sticks all over her face, she scores. It's 9-8.
All right, Keeley, I asked you your must-have food item, and you didn't even hesitate. We're here in Sprouts Farmers Market. You pulled me right to the pasta aisle. What is it that you're actually eyeing down?
You know, immediately, any pasta that says made in Italy is automatically my go-to, and can't go wrong with the original spaghetti.
Well, why do you say the made in Italy is better than the others?
I don't know, that's just what my grandma always taught me to get, so that's what I'm always reaching for.
And you're going for grandma's recipe, right?
100%.
So what's your favorite recipe pasta of hers that you have?
You know, she makes a really special red sauce, some Italian sausage made with also tomatoes imported from Italy, so.
And I know you're a captain, so sometimes captains got to put, the players on their back, and I can just imagine you in there whipping up some pasta. What is their favorite pasta dish of yours that you make?
Their favorite dish that I make is my penne alla vodka with some crispy chicken cutlet.
And how do you make the crispy chicken?
So when I make the crispy chicken cutlet, you gotta cut the chicken thin, and then I do an 80-20 ratio of breadcrumbs to Parmesan, a little egg wash, dip it in there, and then fry it in some olive oil.
Perfect. Well, we've got enough of the pasta, and I think I'm gonna come over to get some of that soon. But as far as here, we're gonna have to figure out what is your next must-have food item, so let's go see. All right, Keeley, we just came from the pasta. Now we're in the produce. What are you looking at?
So immediately what catches my eye is a fresh, crispy bag of green grapes.
And I think the most important question here is, do you try them in store? Because sometimes I just like to, pop one, see if it's crispy enough. You gotta try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, these are good.
Mm-hmm.
These are good. So what is the thought process when it comes to finding a crispy grape? Is it that, initial reaction when you're in store and trying it, or you squeeze it, or what do you do?
Nah, you gotta try it. It's gotta have that good crisp bite. It's gotta be fresh.
And I know sometimes people like those red grapes over the green grapes. Not me personally, but what do you have to say about that?
Red grapes are okay, green grapes are where it's at, but try the cotton candy grapes. Those are a good one.
The cotton candies are, and I think they're seasonal items, right?
Yeah.
Every time when they come around, I'm like, wait, I gotta get those. So do you do a mixture of the green grapes and the cotton candy?
Mainly green grapes, but yeah, when I see those cotton candies, probably like once a year, I gotta grab a bag.
And have you ever tried the frozen grapes? They have the candy on the outside.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, that's like a sweet treat, So we've talked about the green grapes, but now we need a guilty pleasure item. I'm talking something that you're reaching for after a great game or a great practice. So take me to that.
All right.
Okay, Keeley, we're back in the produce. Is it onions, potatoes? What are you looking at?
100% just the regular russet potato.
And what is your favorite thing to do with that?
My favorite way to eat it would probably be a French fry, but I also love a good baked potato.
Okay, so controversial. What's on top of the baked potato?
You gotta go chives, sour cream, bacon, butter.
Any type of other meat, like any type of barbecue? I think that's my favorite.
No, I mean, I'll have it with a steak on the side, but
Okay.
maybe not put it on top.
Okay, and do you make these at home or do you more like restaurant?
Yeah, I'll make them at home.
And how do you make them? Do you do oven, air fryer?
Oven.
Ooh, I mean, I feel like potatoes are a staple. How often do you find yourself like either with a mashed potato, a baked potato, or like you said, a French fry?
Yeah, I feel like I gotta eat a potato at least multiple times a week. I mean, you can have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Hash browns?
Yup.
We forgot that. And then for lunch, you could have baked potato. Dinner, you could have mashed potatoes. And you never get tired of it, right?
Never.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
All right, Keeley, we saw pasta and grapes, but now I'm asking for your guilty pleasure item. We're in the, cereal aisle?
Yeah.
What is it in here?
So also in the cereal aisle is the granola. So I can finish a whole bag of this in one sitting. This is the Purely Elizabeth cookie granola oatmeal raisin flavor.
Oatmeal raisin, so is that your favorite type of cookie as well?
No, I'd probably go for a chocolate chip, but like a good oatmeal raisin is hard to top.
So I know granola a lot of times is about that ratio. So what's so good about this ratio right here?
It just genuinely tastes like a sweet treat. It is just so delicious, and you can put it on yogurt. Like sometimes I just eat it by the spoonful. Like it's so good.
What's your favorite way to eat it? Is it the yogurt or, just by the spoonful?
Probably just a big bowl of it, honestly.
Milk or just a bowl and just keep powering it down?
Yeah, sometimes some milk. Any type of way you eat this is just so good.
Anytime you're coming home to that after, a good game or a good practice, it's a good day, right?
Yeah, I'll be thinking about it on my way home.
So we've learned a little bit about your personal life, what you like to come home to after you've worked so hard. But next, we're going to talk about your impact on the game, what fuels you, a little bit of your coaching life, and then giving back to it. So more to come.
Up to point, Morris. Trying to pick up the pace offensively a little here. In front, good look. Old Nose scores. It's a one-goal game. Boy, Lydia Oldno has carried this offense for.
They will now be even. Both teams. ASU was up for that goal. After scoring, they will be even.
Here we go. Chance to tie it. They've had a couple. Ing, pass in front. Now it's tied. What a beautiful pass from Ing. And an even better finish at the net to level us off at 10. The Devils start the fourth quarter piping hot.
Yeah. We're going to get a false start by ASU. This will be Cincinnati's ball. Darko looking to clear it up. Remember, Cincinnati here has had 2 expired shot clocks leading to a turnover, ball to ASU. So getting that ball up quick is super important for them. Ing with the takeaway on the check. She's got space, Broom, and a quick goal for Tegan Ing.
She's given Arizona State their first lead since the first quarter. Cincinnati, this very young team, 12 freshmen, getting tested early against one of the best attacks in the nation. Just over half a minute to shoot.
Addie
Here's
Shevitz
Ing.
with the behind-the-back shot there. Went a little bit wide.
Down
Great.
below, Ing scores! They found Ing on a great cut at 9:40 in the fourth. And it's a 2-goal Arizona State lead, tying their largest of this game.
Great goal by
We're back with Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover. We are here with Arizona State lacrosse standout, Keeley Cleland. Now I know you're very involved in the coaching world. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I coached a little bit in Florida in high school, and then since coming out here to Arizona, I have coached for a local club team, and I've just enjoyed it so much.
What is the passion behind that, and what's your why behind giving back when it comes to coaching?
So one of my biggest passions is growing the game. When you think of lacrosse, you're mainly thinking of like the Northeast. And coming from Florida, it's not really a hot spot. And even when I started, the youngest you could start was 3rd grade. And now growing up, now I get to see all these commits coming out of Florida. So even just seeing it grow over there, I'm so excited to bring that growth to Arizona.
And I didn't know that. You can only start in the 3rd grade. Is that still a rule?
No, so now it's much younger, but it wasn't as big when I first started.
Is there a reason for that?
I just think that lacrosse was slowly like trickling down from Maryland, and then it was slowly getting to Florida. So that was just like the earliest you could start in my age group.
What has it meant to you to see it, be more prominent in Florida and then now here?
It means so much to me. Even just seeing like those little girls that I used to coach, like they're now committed to play in college, and I just think that's so incredible.
And how have you seen the game change other than the way that it's populated in different places now? But as you said, now you can play a lot younger. Are there any other ways that have kind of grown?
I mean, the rules change every single year, which is so crazy. I mean, they call lacrosse the fastest sport on 2 feet. So just dealing with all those changes every single year. When I first started playing, every time the whistle blew, you had to stop your feet. And now you play through almost every single whistle.
So how do you kind of change and revise the way that you play based on how the rules are changing all the time?
You just have to be competitive, The rules are going to be what it's going to be. You can never focus on it. So just learning them to the best of your ability and like finding the best way to approach them.
What are some of the philosophies that you're inputting into these younger athletes that you're coaching?
Always just love it. You have to love what you do all the time. So love the early workouts, love when things are hard, and then really enjoy like the little wins and stuff.
So I know you said that you may want to do something with nutrition after graduating, but have you ever thought about being a coach?
Yeah, I have thought about it a little bit. If the opportunity presents itself, I would definitely love to explore that.
What kind of coach are you? Are you good cop, bad cop? I mean, I'm sure the players love you, especially coming from the standpoint that you are as an athlete. You understand more than some coaches who maybe have never been in those shoes. But what kind of coach would you say you are?
I'm definitely hard on the kids. I definitely preach discipline a lot, but I think that really is the foundation for a lot of success. But with being like that bad cop, like I also love having a deep relationship with the kids so that they trust me and that they know that like when I'm coming from a discipline piece or when I'm coming in to be hard on them, it's because I care about them and want them to be better.
And I know you coach clubs, so it's a little different than like high school where the kids are coming in for a couple hours, in a week, but how are you building that outside relationship with the players?
Yeah, with clubs, so I mean, it's a sign up. The kids who sign up for it, like they want to be there. So just knowing that they want to be there, always being the outlet for them. Like they can always reach out to me, ask me questions about their game. I've given private lessons a couple times as well. So.
Do they travel?
Yeah, they do. They travel. I went to Maryland with them this summer as well.
Okay, how was that? Did y'all get to do anything, when you weren't playing that helped you build that bond with them?
We always do team dinners, so that's always really fun.
Bonding over food.
Yeah, always food, yeah.
Let's talk about your club experience. What was that like?
So I played for 2 clubs. I played for Lax Maniacs, which is a statewide lacrosse club, and then more locally I played for Florida Shine, which also was a club run by my high school coach, Krista Grauber. And I just had the most amazing experience with both teams.
Do you feel like coaching now is a way to give back of your great experience that you've had?
100%. I mean, I look back and have some of my most fond memories playing for those teams. So just being able to give girls that same experience, like I just love.
What would you say is your fondest memory this far?
From club?
Club, high school here.
I would say my fondest memory from club would my club team. So for a whole week, we would travel together and we would go stay at a university or a high school in Maryland, and we would just like train and play all week. And that really just made our team like super close.
When was this week? Was it during summer? Because I'm like, when can, students take a week off?
Yeah, it was every summer in June.
Okay. And then your favorite memory from ASU?
I would say my favorite memory from ASU.
There's probably so many. I remember when I was an athlete, I was like, oh, there's this, and this.
I know, and I just don't want to be cliche and be like, just my friends, anytime I'm with my friends, because truthfully I am just so grateful for like the culture that my team has and just the relationships that I've made, so.
Just your friends, just hanging out and stuff. What do y'all like to do outside when you're not playing?
We love to go to concerts. We love to kind of go around. Like I've been to the Grand Canyon with a couple of my teammates. That was super awesome and a super unique experience of being in Arizona.
Right. So do y'all do any type of team bonding before the season?
Yeah, 100%. Anytime that we can get together, we're always getting together.
Any team retreat or anything?
No specific retreat, but like, for example, so we have one Canadian on our team. So our whole team is coming over to our house on Monday to celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving with her. And we're all like bring potluck dishes and everything. So that's super exciting.
Is Canadian Thanksgiving just on a different day? Or is it like the same thought process just on a different day? Or is it something completely different?
I think it's just their day of Thanksgiving. I'm not totally sure the background of it, but I know that that's the day that they celebrate. And obviously she can't go home for it. So we always bring all the dishes here. And it's the same food as American Thanksgiving.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are the best memories, I feel like, when you get to learn about other cultures, especially now in an era where there's so many international students coming to play. It's the best. All right, y'all, coming back, we're going to talk a little bit more about leadership. You were recently named a captain, so we're going to talk more about that, and y'all definitely won't want to miss it.
Far side, 7:25 mark.
A lot of space on the right here for number 6, and a quick goal from Paige Selhorn of Cincinnati. Good rollback for her there, using that space she created on the right. Beautiful shot. Darko in goal.
Ing digs in. She drives. She
And a
scores
goal.
with a flag to go with it. Tegan Ing.
This fourth quarter has just been one of the best.
Here we go. This one should be Thornton.
From that spot, Tegan Ing just scored from,
Stares down Darko. Anna Thornton. 3-goal lead for Arizona State. Anna Thornton. The buzzer will sound. Welcome to the Big 12, Arizona State. They're 1-0 in their first season in the conference.
Welcome back to Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm your host, Alex Glover. We are here with Arizona State lacrosse standout, Keeley Cleland. So excited to talk about this leadership. You were just named a captain. Tell us about that process.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm just so excited to be named as a captain this year. This team means so much for me, so being able to be put in that position is just really exciting, and I'm really excited to help our team grow and meet all of our goals.
I know every team has a different process for naming captains. What is y'all's process?
I believe it's coach picked. You know, our coaches kind of see the girls on our team who, you know, want to step into those positions and they think they can handle it. So I'm just really grateful to be selected as one.
And to be selected as a captain is a hard feat. I mean, you have to lead by example both on the field and off the field, and also help the team culture out. What is that team culture?
So our biggest team culture is, like, we always say we're a family. We're best friends on and off the field, and so that's one of the biggest things. And I think that leads a lot to our success because we can be honest with each other, like, on the field and be tough and know that we can still have each other's backs.
So I know we're talking about culture and being a leader, but I also know you're a SAC representative. I was one at my university when I played volleyball, but can you kind of explain what that is for those who don't know what it is?
Yeah, so SAC is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I'm vice president at Arizona State, and it really just involves a lot of, like, student commitment. So we plan events, we communicate with the Big 12 itself, so it's really awesome.
I know that you represented ASU as a SAC representative for a conference with the Big 12 this summer. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, so it was super awesome. So I went to Texas and served as the female representative for ASU at the Big 12 SAC Leadership Council, and so that was a super awesome opportunity. I got to speak with Big 12 Commissioner Jen Hunter, just some of these awesome people that are doing so much for us in the sports world, so I learned a lot about leadership there as well.
What does it mean to you to represent ASU on such a big stage like that?
Yeah, I'm honestly just so honored to be able to do that. I love this school, so anytime I get to advocate for just how amazing it is, and anything really, is just an awesome opportunity.
So we've talked about, how outstanding you are personally as a captain. What are you preaching to the team about what needs to happen to be successful this season?
I think discipline is a big piece that, you know, we hound. Similar to my coaching philosophy, I'm often sometimes the bad cop, being the one who's like pushing everybody from behind, but I really do love that, and I think that it's super important.
Oh, you always need a bad cop. You know, everybody can't be the nice guy. You need someone to keep the gears going. So what do you implement? Are you the vocal leader, or how are you in those huddles?
definitely try to be like that vocal leader, like always giving everyone like the push that they need. Just like, you know, like you can never quit mentally before you quit physically. So just knowing that like you always can push yourself just that one more, you can always run a little bit harder.
Keeley, I know when I was a volleyball captain, it's something that I kind of learned by example. You know, when you're an underclassman, you have a lot of people that you're looking up to that pull in the reins, that are kind of the head of the team. Who are those people for you?
So one person that comes to mind is Zoe Mazer. She was a captain for me 2 years ago and is now actually a coach at our program.
Wow.
So she is just, you know, the epitome of someone who worked really hard. Yeah. She broke almost every record in the Pac-12 for draw controls. So just her success on and off the field, like really always inspired me. And her leadership, like she always pushed the team as well and was like super serious. So I loved that.
And I know as a player, it can be night and day, you know, having someone on the coaching staff, one that you played with, but also was just someone in your shoes just a few years ago. So how much has that meant to you and then also your teammates?
Yeah, it means so much. I mean, she just gets it, like just always like having someone who knew what it was like 2 years ago and now to like be on the other side, just like knowing that someone is just always having your back and like she can be hard on us and like we know where it's coming from.
Keeley, best of luck to you this season. It has been phenomenal catching up with you today. As far as us, y'all, we're going to have some more episodes. But for now, I'm your host, Alex Glover, and this is Between the Aisles, powered by Sprouts Farmers Market.